Recording in progress.
Call to order the regular meeting of the Rio Dell City Council. Roll call, please.
Mayor Garnes.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Carter.
Here.
Councilmember Wilson.
Here.
Councilmember Woodall.
Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public presentation. This is the time for persons who wish to address the council on any matter not on this agenda and over which the council has jurisdiction. As such, a dialogue with the council or staff is not allowed under the Ralph M. Brown Act. Items requiring council actions not listed on this agenda may be placed on the next regular agenda consideration if the council directs, unless a finding is made by at least 2/3 of the council that the item came up after the agenda was posted and is of an urgency nature requiring immediate action. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Got anybody? Any hands raised or email?
No.
And we will close public presentation, and I will ask if there's any council member who wishes to remove anything from the consent calendar.
Yeah, I'd like to remove item number 5.
Anyone? Raise hands or emails or no audience that wishes to remove anything? No. Then I will ask for a motion to approve items 1 through 4.
So moved.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. Need to vote?
Come on.
I'm voting yes.
I'm voting
Mine is a yes. Again. Okay, there's. Huh? I know. I think we have a lot. I think we have. I don't. Motion here to work on that.
That's it, there's something.
It's not here. Gotta be in them.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yes, I read through the, what the action is to approve hiring Susan Townsend, I believe, back as a fiscal assistant. And I just want to say that I'm thrilled to have her back. I missed the fact that she left, and well, she's for her own reasons, but that she left originally because she was a real asset to the city. And so I'm just making a comment. I'm glad they have her back.
Here. So will you make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve item number 5.
We have a motion? Second. Second, please vote. Let's try this.
No. No, I can't do it. Mine is a yes.
Mine is yes. I think,
Mine is different.
Yeah.
I think there's some cross wires.
Something's happened to your mother before, because this is only a topic.
Yeah, where's the one that?
Gordon, we should, but mine.
And then you know which years and mine goes.
Lawrence Johnson, what now?
Mhm.
And I'm neither of them will go.
We need.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We can do a roll call, like,
Well, okay, here is five there.
It's the one, right?
City manager and staff report, page 24 in our packet. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. I just want to point out that council member Amanda Carter attended the Humboldt County Trail Summit on behalf of the city back on Saturday, the 24th of September to showcase the Eel River Trail project. So thank you, council member Carter. Staff has obviously been engaging in multiple meetings with the Pacific Gas and Electric, our friends at the city of Fortuna, the county of Humboldt, and others regarding electrical transmission line deficiencies. We will be meeting again with Senator McGuire's staff this coming Friday, and there is another meeting with the senator scheduled for later in October. Dry Coast Slurry Seal Project, and actually I will mention one other thing on the PG&E item is that there's also going to be a Board of Supervisors meeting with a full presentation for Pacific Gas and Electric at the November 1st, Tuesday, November 1st, Board of Supervisors meeting. We want to encourage anybody impacted by this to attend that board meeting in Rio. Dryco's slurry seal project has largely been completed. The sealing itself has been completed. The project included only one minor change order, which was the addition of a short seal coat on the lower end of Orchard Avenue. There was some additional work done there in the paved project earlier, including replacement of some drainage culverts. Staff will be working with Dryco and striping subcontractor on the striping projects within the city. We expect that those will occur inside of the next 2 weeks. So there's a little period of time where the slurry needs to cure, and then the striping should occur in between 1 and 2 weeks from now. So we are working with them on doing some change orders to add mostly pedestrian facilities to kind of touch those up in various locations. And as the councils will see at their days, at their desks this evening, Corporal Crystal Landry is on the cover of the North Coast Journal for the current edition, which I believe ends tomorrow. So it's been out for about a week now. We want to thank Corporal Landry on that article and also the author of that article. City Hall's power backup system was tested back on Thursday of last week during a short power outage and subsequent surges to the building, and all went well at City Hall. The building was able to be disconnected from the grid following the power outage. We were experiencing some pretty severe fluctuations in power. We were able to flip it straight to battery and instantaneously stabilize the electricity in the building. So that was very good. With that, I don't have any other updates, but I'm happy to turn it back to the mayor to see if there's any questions or comments to staff.
Thank you. We're excited about Crystal being on the cover. It's very positive of our article. Yay. And I will ask now Mayor Pro Tem.
I was going to say just exactly that. Crystal did a great job presenting the Rio Dell Police Department and the city of Rio Dell. Thank you, Crystal.
Also Kurt.
I've also gotten a lot of positive feedback in the community for this article, and so thanks to Crystal and Chief Allen, you are quoted very, very well also. So yeah, it was a nice article. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Councilmember Woodall.
No, I was just gonna say, she's been me for a long time, and after riding around with her, she's just really impressive. Get more like her.
No other questions?
No.
Councilmember Wilson.
Just what everyone else has said about Corporal Landry.
Thank you. Then we will close. Staff manager reports and go on to scheduled call items. Unmet transit needs public hearing, page 28 in our packets. City manager.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. Each year, as established by the California Transportation Development Act, or the TDA, the Humboldt County Association of Governments is required to conduct a citizen participation process to identify any unmet transit needs within the county. So this process is required prior to the allocation of TDA funding the following fiscal year, of which the city of Rio Dell is a beneficiary of. All comments deemed to meet the definition of an unmet transit need will then be analyzed to determine if the need is reasonable to meet. So in addition to the county's hearings, there will be hearings in all the jurisdictions in the county, including the cities. And so it is recommended that each city conduct its own separate hearings for its jurisdictions, so with that, what we're asking the council to do is open a public hearing and receive any input on unmet transit needs in the community. Close the public hearing and make a motion to direct staff to send a letter to the Humboldt County Association of Governments relaying any comments made, if any, during the public hearing regarding the unmet transit needs. And so my understanding is we might have Stevie Luther on the line. I'm not at 5808. If that is him, go ahead and unmute yourself. Stevie Luther's with HCOG, and he is doing double duty because the city of Eureka's public hearing is also scheduled at the exact same time. So Stevie, if you're on the line, did you have any other additional comments?
Hi, thank you, City Manager Knopp, and good evening, Mayor and City Council members. This is Stevie Luther with HCOG. I do not have anything to add to that excellent synopsis, and I'm happy to answer any questions the council may have and look forward to collecting any comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Councilmember Wilson,
I have not, that I think about this point.
Councilmember Woodall,
Yeah.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Nothing, thank you.
Councilmember Carter.
No questions.
Are there any, Rich, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, are there any hands raised or emails? Then, Mr. Luther, we apparently have no questions, and, but we appreciate you being here, and we appreciate you, making yourself available for questions.
Absolutely,
so,
my pleasure.
Thank you. So is there a motion to, to direct staff to write a letter relating to HCOG, the comments made or not made during the public hearing? Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Now we'll come to ordinance and special resolutions. Adopt resolution number 1553-2022, authorizing the purchase of equipment for the police department, page 34 in our packet. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes, members of the council. I'm going to go ahead and hand this off to Travis Sanborn, the city's new finance director.
Welcome back, Travis.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Garnes and members of the City Council. The Rio Dell Police Department has identified the need for police equipment and related paraphernalia essential to both public and officer safety. The department has determined that 2 new vehicles are needed to replace 2 aging vehicles in the fleet. Additional equipment needed include a copy scanning machine, body cameras, radios, training software, and mounting equipment needed for computers purchased last year with Measure D funds. The aging vehicles would be sold via government surplus auctions, which has proved successful in the past and would assist in offsetting vehicle replacement costs. Additionally, city staff is working with the USDA Community Facilities Grant Program, which could help offset up to $50,000 in qualified expenses. Pending results of the USDA grant, a budget adjustment may be needed at a later date. I want to thank you for your time this evening, and we look forward to answering any questions you have.
Thank you. Councilmember Woodall.
Hit me up later.
Okay, Councilmember Carter,
No questions right now. Thank you.
Councilmember Wilson.
Yeah, just, why 2 different types of vehicle? Why not just one? Why wouldn't they be the same?
So I think the chief is best to answer that.
So one of the vehicles will replace the community services vehicle. That's the truck that you see listed there. And the other one will be a patrol. And that will replace the Altima that's we have right now.
So one is a Dodge Charger and one is a Ford Maverick.
Yeah, Ford Maverick is the pickup truck. And that would be one for the community service officer.
All right, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor Garnes. Chief, the Dodge Charger, that will that be configured like CHP vehicles that run chargers?
Yes.
And it comes with standard heavy duty, everything on it, to which we add our unique packages and radios and stuff like that.
Correct.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay, Holton Below.
The maverick, it'll be better for her doing the animal control.
Absolutely.
And then I wanted to ask about cameras. I know we had cameras at one time. Are they all still working or?
They're at their lights.
Pardon?
They're at their lights in. This is one of the cameras that we're talking about right now. When you speak with them, they talk about 5 to 6 years lifespan of the cameras. Our actual contract ended probably 2 weeks ago. And so we're trying to reestablish that contract.
So they're probably have advanced a lot.
Yes.
since we bought them.
Yes.
No, I was just wondering. That was all I had to ask.
Thank you. Any hands raised or email? Any questions? And I think we are ready for a motion.
Mayor Johnson, I would move that we approve resolution 1553-2022.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Now we come to council reports. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor Johnson. As I'm getting closer to my, the end of my term as city council member, and since I'm not running again, I'm starting to feel like a lame duck. Establishing a few bucket items that I'd like to see acted upon before I go. And the two are linked at the hip. The first is the passage of Make It All. I think that it's pivotal for the city to have solid financing that we can count on. And the second is I'd like to have the council either in study session, which really I would prefer to look at the police department. Its staffing, its hours of service, people in the office, people in the field. Do we have the right number? Do we need more hours at one or the other? And what's going to be the impact ultimately financially? So anyway, I'd like to schedule a study session sometime, I guess, after the first of November.
We have consensus?
Sure, yes.
Okay. Consensus? City manager?
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Carter?
Thank you. As Kyle mentioned, I attended the Humboldt Trail Summit. It was a really nice event, and I got so much support and positive feedback about the city of Rio Dell. And, you know, after the PG&E thing and things that kind of take the wind out of your sails, it was really nice to go there and just have this really awesome, positive experience. People are very supportive of us, and not just our trail project, but what the city looks like in general, and just what a nice place it is. So that was really, really encouraging. I had a Redwood Regional Economic Development Commission meeting. The PG&E fiasco dominated that meeting also. But what came out of that was that those of us in Southern Humboldt do have a lot of support in our neighboring jurisdictions. Everybody's pulling for us for whatever it matters. And then we had a nuisance advisory committee meeting where we talked a lot about maybe looking at the city's parking ordinances, specifically dealing with RVs and utility trailers. And that's my report.
Thank you. Councilmember Wilson?
Yes, last week I attended along with the city manager. We attended a HWMA joint task force with the LTF committee and the board members of HTMA. And this topic being the establishment of the course forward with this 1383, how they're going to use HWMA is going to be the forerunner, and they shut down their recycling center and they're repurposing that to be a pre-processing place. It's kind of as the guy, the consultant described it, it's kind of a cart before the horse, because the goal is to get a place where you actually recycle the food waste into a compost. which could be sold, and they're working with Miranda Dairy to do a slurry type thing with that, but it's still a lot of stuff up in the air. A lot of stuff, is how the cost would be shared. I don't see how, HWMA is gonna be able to afford this whole thing for them to take this on, when the jurisdictions are the ones that are really responsible to get their organic food waste, which is the 1383, taken care of. And so they're talking about having possibly another joint session where they figure out how to distribute the cost. And when I say distribute the cost of the impact of both shutting down the recycling center and replacing that and then repurposing this, the organic pre-sorting and staffing it is somewhere in the vicinity of probably $70 million that it's going to take to do that. So there's a big expense to the county, as well as it'll be how that impacts the city. I'm sure it will be, it's proportional because we're a little city, and we don't fall under some of these requirements immediately, which will really take place starting the 1st of 2022, and it'll have more impact in 2023, and then as they have to get trucks through ecology. Calvin Cycle is not really a good player in this. They're not approved. They're not really on board with everything, particularly the time frame to get the trucks. They don't find that acceptable. How much Fortuna shares in this? They're not a member of HWMA. So anyhow, more details to come unless Kyle has anything to add to it.
No, I think that's an excellent summary. Just to put it into perspective, people who subscribe to garbage services are also, paying for recycling often, and green waste. And now this is another kind of stream that hopefully we'll be able to get incorporated into green waste. But it's by orders of magnitude, it's a significant new system that is required by the state, and so the implementation is going to be difficult, but it is part of state law.
They haven't really defined how they're going to implement this. They're very vague in that he didn't address put the bags in the carts. Most cities just put the green waste, just put the food waste in with the green waste. That's how they're dealing with it. City of San Jose, they just put it in with the garbage and we'll filter it out here. And so bigger jurisdictions have more resources, obviously, to do that than, in fact, everything I looked up wasn't a county. In our case, we're a county-wide system instead of an individual city. Most cities are taking this on themselves. So anyway, that's enough said for that.
Thank you. Councilmember Woodall.
Have an HTA meeting tomorrow morning. I was wondering when the next traffic committee meeting was. It was supposed to be.
I don't believe we have one scheduled yet, but
That was the Thursday after, and you said the Thursday.
So it's the Thursday after.
I think it's the 20th, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
we can get back to you, Councilmember Woodall. I want to say it was actually scheduled on the Wednesday following the next council meeting.
That would be news.
Yeah, the same afternoon.
Oh, the same afternoon.
That works.
Okay. I want to thank Gordon for bringing up the study session. I think that's a really good idea. And I do hope that we can schedule it for November. It'll be good to have all of us take a look at that. And Amanda, were you going to be on the phone with the chamber?
I was gonna call in as I drive.
Oh.
And hope that,
I'll be there.
okay,
Okay.
when the call drops, then you'll be there.
Okay. Okay, so I will go to the chamber.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Okay. Then I have nothing else. I have nothing. So is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A motion?
Second.
Meeting adjourned until October 18th.
So you're going.
Yes.
They should better.